We've heard a ton about conference realignment. You've had Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA heading to the Big Ten. We have Texas and Oklahoma going the SEC. Hell, we got Oregon State and Washington State going, well, just their own way. But one team in one conference really isn't being talked about a lot in the conference realignment, and that's SMU. Now, I know SMU isn't the biggest brand of all time, but they could be the team that crashes the party in the ACC. And when it comes to the locks or best bets on win totals, I'm riding with Rhett Lashley and the SMU Mustangs at over 8.5 wins on the season. When you look at what they return, when you look at the schedule, when you look at the momentum, but most importantly, when you look at the sneakiness. And SMU is very, very sneaky this year. Should be better on defense. Preston Stone's coming back. Got a lot of production at the skill position in general coming back. And you're entering a conference that may have a couple elite teams, maybe just one, and you could possibly be one of them. So give me SMU over 8.5 wins, David, in the Atlantic Coast Conference as my lock, my favorite bet. So I'm at Ole Miss over 9.5 in the SEC. I'm at SMU, obviously, over 8.5 in the ACC. Then I am absolutely loving Nebraska over 7.5 there in the Big Ten. When it comes to ACC, what are you looking in your magic boiling pot? What's coming up in a bubble?
Thank you for asking. So you like SMU 9 wins then?
I like SMU 9 wins.
Okay.
9 wins. And can we pull that schedule up?
I already got
to go through it.
Who are you going with?
Me?
Who are you going with? Tell me who you're going with first.
I'm going with the Clemson Tigers.
Okay.
Over. You're going Clemson over.
Yeah, I got over 8.5.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I do think this. I think, one, you bring back Cade Klubnik. Cade Klubnik has shown good things. You didn't bring back a ton of production on defense, but you do have a couple pieces. Your front seven is going to be good. And it's still Clemson to me. You have a couple of young guys at receiver who are going to be freshmen. I mean, the schedule's not impossible. I do think I could see a Dabo Sweeney coach team, we have a 9-game win season.
Okay. What if it was 9 wins? Because I got it at 9 wins on here. Which, I mean, again, if you're betting the over on 8.5, that's a push.
It's a push, basically.
On 9.
Yeah.
Because if it's 8.5, I mean, I think a ton of people would take Clemson the over on that. Let me read through these ACC teams like we did yesterday. Boston College, 4.5 wins. Cal, 6 wins. Clemson, 9 wins. Duke, 5.5 wins. FSU, 9.5 wins. Georgia Tech, 5 wins. No way that's right. Georgia Tech's at 5 wins. That's incredible. That must have just changed. Louisville, 8.5. Miami, 9.5. NC State, 8.5. North Carolina, 7.5. Pitt, 5.5. SMU, 8.5, as I mentioned. Stanford, 3.5. Syracuse, 7.5. Virginia, 4.5. Virginia Tech, 8.5. And then Wake Forest, 4.5.
Man, so Georgia Tech's an even 5 right now.
And when you go through the schedule, like at first, like, oh my God, like I saw that, and that's the first thing that jumped off the screen to me. I was like, I have to pick Georgia Tech. Then I went back and looked at the schedule. I just still feel more comfortable about SMU getting to that 9-win mark. While you've got SMU pulled up there, like, can we just go through their schedule real quick?
Yep. Let me pull it back.
Let you
had Georgia Tech pulled up. All right, you have Nevada on the road week 1. All right, week 2, you have
Holy Cross.
Good luck. You have BYU at home.
Yep.
TCU at home.
Yep.
Florida State at home.
Yep.
At Louisville.
Tough.
Stanford at home.
Yep.
At Duke.
Yep.
Pittsburgh at home.
Yep.
Boston College at home.
Yep.
At Virginia.
Yep.
And Cal at home.
Man, the back half of that schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, the front half's not super tough. I mean, you got Florida State at home, which is not easy. You go on the road to play Louisville. But, I mean, I could legitimately see double-digit wins for SMU. It's what they return if you know what they have coming back.
Well, the reason I wanted to ask what you were going with, because I didn't know if you might go NC State, which was then going to force me to take Louisville, because Louisville and NC State are both at 8.5 right now. That's where I saw them. That's what you read off, right? Yep. 8.5. So between those two teams, I think you have to go with NC State right now. Let me just read off the schedule for both of the schools, and you guys tell me. So this is NC State this year. Western Carolina. Then you're going to get Tennessee, but remember that's a neutral site, and that's going to be in Charlotte, all right? Louisiana Tech. You have to play Clemson on the road, all right? But then after that, Northern Illinois, home. Wake Forest, home. Syracuse, home. At Cal. Stanford, home. Duke, home. At Georgia Tech, and at North Carolina.
You could legitimately end going 8-0. with that schedule.
So I really like that right now for NC State, over 8.5. They've been ranked in the preseason right around 23, 24, 25, something like that in most of the polls.
I don't hate that.
Louisville's also 8.5. But here's where their schedule's tougher to me now. They get to dodge Florida State.
But they get Notre Dame, right?
Dodge Florida State, but they have Notre Dame and they have them on the road. So Austin Peay, Jacksonville State, Georgia Tech. All right, all those are at home. Notre Dame on the road. Like we said, SMU at home, at Virginia, Miami, but they get them at home, at Boston College, at Clemson, at Stanford, Pitt at home, and then they finish the year with the in-state rivalry with Kentucky, but that's on the road in Lexington.
So you get Kentucky, you get Clemson, you get Miami, and you get Notre Dame.
And 3 of the 4 are on the road.
Neither one of those schedules are a walk amongst the tulip. I want to make sure and give credit to Louisville for scheduling Notre Dame, and then obviously NC State for scheduling Tennessee. I mean, that takes a lot of gumption. Man, where are you leaning on that one? To me, I would lean probably more toward NC State.
I'm taking NC State on the over 8.5.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I know more. I trust Grayson McCall more if he can.
Can we go over Georgia Tech's schedule real quick? I know you brought that up. I was so close to picking them, but I've been a hard line on SMU, and again, the more I look at that schedule, the one we just read out, the more I like it.
All right, FSU obviously in Ireland.
Yep. Let's just say you lose that one.
All right.
Just say you lose that one.
Georgia State at home week 2.
Win.
At Syracuse.
Very winnable.
VMI at home.
Win.
At Louisville.
Loss.
Duke at home.
Win.
At UNC. Notre Dame at home. At Virginia Tech. Miami at home. NC State at home. At Georgia.
That's
Jesus, the
tough
back half of
stretch.
that schedule.
The end of
God
that
almighty.
schedule's tough,
See, that's why when I saw those last 5 games, that's why. Now, I still like Georgia Tech on the over. I still, if I had to bet Georgia Tech, I would take them over 5 wins, including having a pretty decent shot to beat Florida State week 1 over in Ireland. I just feel so much better about SMU.
That's a tough stretch.
That is tough. That second half. I mean, if you look at the last 5 of Georgia Tech's schedule, then the last 5 of Florida's schedule.
Yeah, Florida's is Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and Florida State.
God.
I think it was them.
God.
Michigan State had a stretch. That's just terrible.
Say Florida's again.
Florida's is Georgia neutral site, at Texas, LSU home, Ole Miss home, at Florida State.
Oh,
Michigan State.
Oh.
Michigan State's Ohio State at home, at Oregon, at Iowa, at Michigan.
That's a tough 4-gamer too.
golly, I do not envy the back half. You better make hay while it's good.
Make hay while you can. That's
Make
a good
hay
way to
while
put
you
it.
can.
The interesting thing is there are no double-digit projections right now for the ACC.
If you had to pick one team to win double-digit games, is it Miami?
I'm going to take Miami again. We're going to get into all this next week. We're going to get into all this next week, and they've never won the ACC. And hey, Mario Cristobal's the biggest loser coach of all time because he can't take a knee. I understand what all the narratives are, but man, it's time. It's time if you're Miami.
It's the roster. Look at their roster.
Yeah.
Their roster is extremely good.
But if there are no ACC double-digit win projections right now, and again, these are just projections, then you're only getting the champ in,
You're only
right?
getting the champ in, and I think that is with or without Notre Dame getting in.
Gotcha.
Like if you're a champion has 9 wins, and you're in the ACC or the Big 12, you're getting one team in.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting one team in, and that team automatically gets in. That's probably what the group of 5. Somebody's hoping like hell in the group of 5 to finish 11-1. Maybe if 2 group of 5s finish 11-1, let's say, I don't know, Memphis goes 11-1. Let's say Boise State goes 11-1, and Memphis loses to Florida State, and Boise loses to Oregon. That's the only scenario where I think maybe 2 group of 5 teams with 1 loss could possibly get in. If Notre Dame doesn't make it, and the winner of either or both the Big 12 or the ACC, the champion, has 10 wins because they won the conference championship game, but 9 going into the
I'll tell you another reason why it's Miami for me. Remember, Miami and Clemson don't play in the regular season. Hold on one second. I just want to double check something. Miami and Clemson don't play in the regular season. Meanwhile, Florida State has to play both of them and Notre Dame on the road. And remember, Memphis in the non-conference and Florida.
No, it's,
and you're at SMU, too.
Yeah.
It's not a walk in the park.
For sure, without a doubt. Hey, what's up, YouTube? If you hate pizza and ice cream, do not subscribe to this channel because we love both. So you should love this channel. Subscribe.